2 of a pretty serious subject. We're talking about hate and what it is. So dance warriors, we teach you little dance tricks, we talk about little dance things, inspirational things, so sometimes we have to talk about the serious stuff. And I'm very, very much disturbed by the real hatred that's going on towards me, towards my family. I don't like other hatred either that's going on. And I don't like it when people mislabel what hate is either. That's really bad. If somebody's doing wrong to you and you hold them to account and you go through the proper steps and you say, look, you keep doing this to me, why are you doing this to me? And then sometimes you have to hold them to account with a higher authority. That's not hate. That's self-love and self-preservation. That's normal. But, we have evidence people stealing from me. That's an act of hatred. I don't want people stealing my ideas, stealing my words. What's his name? The one who wrote The Littlest Mermaid. The fairy tale originally.
Oh, the name of the guy?
Yeah. Is it Hans Christian Andersen?
I think so.
Hans Christian Andersen. Okay. Didn't she trade in her voice so she could love a mortal, and given her legs, that was her price to pay?
Something like that.
Okay, I never decided, hey, you can just take my voice. So what? Well, what did I didn't get anything. A car accident? You serious? I don't want to be a part of your crazy Looney Tunes stuff, I don't mean Looney Tunes, the brand name. I mean, as the old phrase in which the cartoons are based on. I don't want to be a part of any of that crazy whatever that is, Some people say Illuminati. I don't believe there's an Illuminati by any means, but I do think that there are very powerful people that know what talent is and they want to make money off of it. And, I never agreed to be somebody's slave. I don't want to do that. I want my own art for myself. If I wanted it for somebody else, I would have given it to them. This is stuff I want to produce and I want to make and I want to perform. I don't want anybody else to do it. So if any of you out there who really are my friends and true colleagues, and when I say colleagues, I mean that in the sense of a sense of respect and love, and you're not going to backstab me and I'm not going to backstab you, and to me that's a real sense of the word colleague. Otherwise, if you are doing nasty things to me, whether it's in front of my face or behind my back, I don't consider you a colleague. I consider you a criminal. And a very bad person. So I don't create dance ideas for people to just take, or for somebody to record and then they go to a corporation. The corporation decides who to delve them out to. Isn't that exactly what was done to the Jews in a sense?
In a way.
Yeah, this is like a modern version of it. I don't want to live in a socialist country. This is not one. Would that be communism, or is it kind of one and the same? I don't even know. Similar. But we don't live in something like that. I don't want to. I want to get credit. I want to get paid. I want to be thanked to my face properly in writing, so it's documented,
Yeah.
I never signed up for this. At least The Littlest Mermaid. I think that was what it was really called. Wasn't it The Littlest Mermaid?
Well, I wouldn't know.
I don't know either. But, oh no, wait, that was Littlest Angel, I think. Anyway, the original fairy tale. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't get anything for it, except, like I said, real bad stuff happening to me. You know, how dare anybody do that to me? I'm the real mermaid. I'm my own mermaid. I don't want to be anybody else's. I'll save myself, thank you. I don't need no Prince Charming. Seriously now. It's been that horrible. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah.
I really want to say the whole entire story and truth to what's been happening. I'm going to take great pleasure in doing that. Naming everybody, everything, and all the connections and everything. I can't wait. We've been treated very inhumanely. This goes beyond, I can't even imagine what it's, with due respect to everybody who went through what the Third Reich put all the Jews through, and those who befriended the Jews and helped the Jews, and this is part of my heritage too. I think I can freely speak about this, but there's a lot of similarities to this, and it's making me question, well, let's look at it this way. They say in the Bible that the Jewish people are God's chosen people. And I'm not saying all Jewish people are always wonderful, and I'm not saying they're always bad. It's the same for any race, any faith, any human being. For me, for you, we're not always perfect, wonderful people. Okay? But isn't that great that we have the Lord Jesus Christ to cover for our sins and help us out to be better people? And worldly people who don't know about the Lord Jesus Christ, they don't get it. And that's a crime. And people know that I have the power to change the world in a big way. With my art, with everything. And there are other people that can do that too. Some people are propped up by corporations. And then I see my stuff on these people. You know what that means on them? It means they take my words, they are my dancing, or my looks even, it's that bad. And I'm like, wait, I never signed up for this. Who the heck gave them the right to do this? Nobody. So that's why we had to take it so high up, because I'm not going to back down. I can't. My life depends on it. My family's lives depend on it.
Indeed.
And I know my beloved, my one beloved, you're probably thinking, oh my God, only would this happen to her. Yeah, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not, but you're right, only would this happen to me. And what's so strange is because I've had a lot of people, not only Mr. Spelling, but a lot of people in my life say, you're so special, you're very unique, and, the genuine article, not a lot of people are like you. And I'm like, oh, you know what, really? Not a lot of people are like me, so then I deserve this hatred put upon me? I don't think so. I'm not the one going around double charging for the same hour for two separate people. I'm not, what am I doing? I'm serving. I make sure other people make money before I do. I go the lengths of helping. They have nothing on me. And I think a lot of people who were involved with, certain things that happen in our lives, here, sign this waiver, and they wanted to see if we had, a police record. And there's nothing there. Not even a traffic ticket. Nothing. Yeah, I know, I'm real boring. I mean, my art isn't boring. I'm a fun person to be around. Like that, but boring as far as, there's nothing. There's nothing there. What are you gonna find? I don't know what you're gonna find. Nothing is what you're gonna find. You're gonna find somebody who worked very hard their whole lives and helped people. Not a perfect person, but there's nothing. And if there was anything, I talk about it in my books or my videos and say, you know what, don't do this. I screwed up here. How many videos have I made where, look, this is what I screwed up on. And I repented and I did my best to fix it. Whatever that it was, you know. I don't know, life is hard enough as it is, so is dance, and everything is hard enough as it is. I just never wanted to do things that were wrong. I saw I had a pet poodle, looked just like a snowman, remember?
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, where's that picture? Hold on. I think it's here. Yes, it is. Licky, licky. See? Look. Can you see that? I can't tell if they can register that. See the little blonde streaks by my temples? I still have them. I just covered them up because I didn't like them. Everyone's like, Noelle, you should put them out there. It's your natural little trademark too. And I'm like, I don't like it. My little snowman poodle. And, you know, little braids, pigtail, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
The blonde streak, they're almost kind of white.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're like really bright. I was like, oh, I don't want that. So, you know, just, I don't know, little me. I don't know who would do something like this to another human being. It's just so strange.
Yeah.
It's like bad enough my grandfather raped me and raped my mother, and this is another form of rape. It really is. And it feels just as violating and humiliating. And maybe that was the whole point. And now I'm starting to wonder if there's something to having been child molested, if that was a scar, a stain, a mark that not only my grandfather knew about, but was it an initiation into the good old boys club somehow, some way? I have to question all of this, you know. When my mom passed on, my aunt gave me a whole bunch of stuff, and she's like, don't open this until then, and I opened it, and I'm like, more questions, more answers too, but more questions. And, you know, in talking with my family members, and some of them before they passed on, I got more and more answers, and I'm like, oh my God. I was completely innocent. What the heck did I know? You know, I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And you just gotta wonder. And the whole thing about my, you know, my red ribbons and what my grandmother did symbolically to try to protect me. It was a bunch of hogwash. But, you know, that's why I had an issue with religion, because I associated the failure of the protection in which the ribbon stood for. So I turned it around and I made it a very magical, beautiful symbol of victory for me. This is a great story. Who wouldn't want to steal it? I get it. But, you know, I lived it. I have the evidence. I you know, have a lot of stuff. I have testimonies, and thankfully so. But, you know, I've kind of endured enough, and it's time that I turn the tables on everybody involved, you know. So if you've been involved and you don't want it to go badly for you, you need to help me. That's just. That's something else too. I was making a bunch of videos recently, and our enemies know because they're listening. They're listening. We know via this camera, you know, whatever. So it's not cool, but I was using the word restitution recently. and then I'm on the phone, and then that's how it works. Say hint drop, and say keywords or actual long phrases from conversations or my videos. I don't know why they're getting caught. I mean, we have the evidence because we're recording it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. It's like, why do that? And then today somebody was talking about, subpoenaing this and subpoenaing that, and I'm like, wait a minute, who told you we were going to court? And it wasn't related to this, it was related to the car accident, and I'm like, what? It was just very peculiar. It was as if they were saying things that they shouldn't have,
Yeah.
and giving us insight that they were part of this thing, I'm like, we're not there yet. With the car accident, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So they're blowing their cover,
Yeah, that's true.
which is good for us, because we're just saying, oh, thanks for that little morsel of information. Like I said, I can out-debate anybody, because I keep my cool. I might sound like I'm getting very angry and upset, but I'm actually being very cool and calm. What do you think when I'm debating people who are being real jerks?
Very good at it.
Thank you. I know I'm very good at it. I don't even care if that sounds prideful. I'm done with people trying to make me feel less than what I am, I know it doesn't make me a better person, but it makes me a better skilled person in something. When we all go to the bathroom, when I go to the bathroom, it smells, you see, that's humility right there, knowing what stinks. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it doesn't make me a better person, but it makes me better skilled at that. Very few people can match me. I was trained by some pretty sharp people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And then I got to be even better than them. That was how I knew I was ready to defend my own self.
Very true.
Yeah. The complication is when you love somebody. I know you know. When you love somebody and yet you have to hold them to account because you don't want them to keep hurting you or even hurting themselves, and you think about, I love you, stop being thick-headed, It's like, please open your eyes before you really hurt yourself. But they knew I was telling the truth. That's why they would never debate me. They would lose too quickly. But I don't know. It's a hardship. You can't just say, oh, that's life. This was injected purposely. No human being can have this much horror in their lives constantly. And I think there's been a lot of films, media, fake articles, fake news made so people would say, oh, okay, well, if this person went through that, then, to write it off. So they wouldn't look deeper. And I was thinking, wait a minute, forget about all of that. Let's just do a mathematical quotient. Remember all that?
Yeah.
And we figured that this just can't happen mathematically. And we also asked other people, can this even happen? Not this many times to the same person in the same way. And so I'm like, I didn't think so. This is intentional now. I'm like, okay. And it didn't bring about any good. It brought about horror. It brought about, evil deeds. Notice how there's no sirens and no cars passing right now, so they get a better signal so they can report.
Yeah, I noticed.
You guys know how to do that sound check thing? We do, because we're film people, right? So if you want to check something, you check to see what sound is coming through, if the outdoor noise is coming through from outside, coming in, and either going through a wall or a ceiling floor. And if it registers, you can register the level and dig deeper into the sound and adjust it and boost the gain, right? And you can get more sound. Listen. And it's so strange because the horns, the sirens, the revving of the engines only happen here. We know this because we tested it a few times. We have that recorded too. And it was just like, this isn't even funny anymore. Well, it really never was funny, but some of it's hysterical. It's so stupid. Yeah. Talk about your human rights being violated. And you gotta love how they try to backpedal. Like, you know, it's not gonna work this time. Because the people who are on our side have their evidence compiled with ours, so, you know, they're SOL. And that is why they've been pushing so hard lately. Making up stories. We have had to have people, and you know that they're lying, and they know that they're lying too. I'm like, oh my god. And they went through my email account, business email account, and went to all the places that we were connected to and infiltrated those places. So if we called there, we were actually not talking to that company's people. And our website's being attacked. Hey, why don't you take down this one site? And, you know, being told to us by the host. It's gonna cost too much. It's gonna, right? And then our records of any time that we were working on the website disappear. The site disappears, and then yet the words that were on there ends up on somebody else's website. And then a virus after I get angry and I'll bitch somebody out if they're doing wrong. Who wouldn't? Jesus did. He's my model. And then trying to tell me that what's not really happening. And I had to say, no, we're not going to take that site down. I don't care if it costs more money. That's our property. And then 3 days later, they email us saying, you now have a malware or a virus on your site. It's like, well, you can take it down. This is only so obvious. We put it up there. Get out of here. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I ain't gonna do nothing to the site. I didn't put it up there. You take it down. You have a problem with it. That was too coincidental, too. We sent it to the feds. Not our job, okay? We just report everything. Yeah, anything that was stolen from me, anything that looks suspicious, because we're done, and things have been found. More than what we found, too, so. Good. Oh, but I just really just want to... Who do you want to have break the story? Oh, we shouldn't say.
Yeah, don't say.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. I appreciate some of my friends in the journalism realm. I'm also a journalist too, and I'm part of the media. Strange to have it attack you. The very realm you're a part of. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I didn't see that one coming. But, you know, I don't want to be vetted into any group. Can I have my own group? It's gonna happen. I want my own thing. Plus, we weren't bothering anybody. Good Lord, all we have is good deeds and helping people, and not to be confused with calling people accountable. So This is hatred. This is hatred. It's pretty bad. It is creepy to think that somebody has been watching me all this time.
Yeah.
Well, now, think of it. Could you imagine if a corporation was playing with, in their head, thinking that they were God, the God syndrome? And I don't know how hypothetical this is. I may be proven 100% right with this, but let's just think about it. And they know who you are because maybe teachers told them about you from when you were young, or maybe when you were a kid, your parents sent in one of your screenplays or one of your dance videos or something like that, and they're like, oh, she's very talented. No, she ain't gonna. You do know how it works, right? She's too talented, way too talented. She's gonna be a problem, too powerful. So they steal my talents and raise somebody up about my age, like a doppelganger, but not quite, and put that element, like the acting, on that person, the dancing on this other person, the this on this, and spread it out and look similar, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And listen to phone calls, and I'm trying to think what the technology was then. Would have been phone calls. I don't know what else. I used to work for a private investigator, so I know a few different things that could be done. Pictures being developed at photomats, right?
Yeah.
And things like that. Is that, I don't mean it as a company name, isn't it called a photo lab? Not photomat, that might be a name brand, I don't know, I'm not blaming them. Just backtrack a little there. It could be from a photo lab, and that's how they keep tracked. Trying to think of another public access, mail, reading the mail, looking to see who you connect with, and just think how it develops over time. So then you have digital stuff, and look in the news now, right? All the different devices that have been called out, probably thanks to us in some respect too, because of who we've been reporting things to. Eavesdropping equipment. I mean, come on, think about it. You have a device, and they say that they're listening to you. They come right out and they say that they're listening to you. Otherwise, how would they be able to, conjure the feeds? It wasn't based on what people were searching only, because it's like, I remember a time we weren't even searching any browser or even using the net. And we're like, okay, so how is this all coming about? They're listening. I'm not falsely accusing. This is in the news. They testified to this, and they said, yes, we do this. They would have to. How else could they put it in the feeds? But then you have to, I know a little bit about computers. My brothers are programmers. You know programming now, language, right? Mm-hmm. You have to actually sit there, and you would have to program every single word. So it's just so much easier for having human beings listen to conversations. And then you gotta keep drawing the lines to each dot. Okay, if they're listening to conversations, what if somebody actually started recording these conversations, which that came out in the news too. I forgot what did that. There was a company that was actually, and admitted to it, that they were listening to messages or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they're doing that, what if somebody unscrupulously sold it? And then you're watching TV, or you see a bus drive by. It's like, wait, weren't we just talking about that? That's my slogan.